would be very big for them, put them on the board and get them going for the rest of the season. But for right now, both these teams facing off against each other. Did we also mention deathmatch? The team that loses dies. So one of these teams is not going to be walking away very happy. It's going to be an important game, but here we've got a big Juno Asher forward duo out of BOZO Bunch, just kind of tearing up the Polar Cortex defense right now.
Yeah. And looking at compositions here, we do have the X into Luna scenario where if the X gets big enough, that Luna can be thoroughly shut down. We actually saw that happen, I believe, against the BOZO Bunch last week. So we'll see if history repeats itself here. A good banish coming out from A is now going to open up the map for Polar Cortex. Grimella not able to get that corner offense going. The X Maximus, unfortunately, just a bit too small, and the strike from named Chaotic isn't going to be there. Dropleto not able to get possession of the core. The Bell Ringer also going to go wide as well. This is a little bit of a scary scenario. Merchant allowed to play, but Dropleto not able to end the point there. Maybe an opportunity here, maybe to get the goal. Not going to happen, though, as we enter overtime. Dropleto with a flip. Actually going to get whipped. The Fool played that perfectly. Dropleto now not able to do anything. Doesn't have the resources to really get this goal done. Going to need to be able to get assistance from Grimella. We'll see if that happens, though. No, A now able to get it to name Chaotic. The dribble is going to come here, but the strikes are not going to be there. The Bell Ringer is coming out as well. Nothing just quite yet. It feels like we are going into a bit of a back and forth here. Neither team has been able to score here in this overtime. Things are heating up right now. Merchant's able to get the flip as well. Doesn't need to use it just quite yet. The Fool once again going to be on the defense. The Crater Maker comes through the Juno Slime as well. Dropleto now is able to close the gap, but not going to matter. He's not going to be able to sink it in. It's going to be a pass from Name Mechanic up to A to end a very, very long first point here of the series.
Yep, we just saw some great defense out of Polar Cortex, and that's really the name of this team's game, is the Fool and A are going to just lock it down. Even on the Finny, it's going to be no cores going through. Everything is completely sealed tight, airtight, watertight, however you want to go about it. Whereas BOZO Bunch is very much the opposite, a very offensively oriented team, and so I'm curious to see how these two teams will match up. I really like the Finny, and of course the X pick out of Polar Cortex. X has been a hot topic. Very good character, as it turns out. And boom, just going to get a KO right there. I think that's, going to be the pick to get through the BOZO defense, but until then, Merchant's just going to make a gigantic play right through the portal right there, and that's shown a little bit of what BOZO has to offer with this team comp themselves.
Yeah, feels like Merchant's character pool, you ban out the Vice, you just go on the Luna, and somehow he's making it work against what I think is considered a decent counter pick here. Already 2 barriers here from Polar Cortex going to go down. Unfortunately, the airship's going to go wide. Means Nate Chaotic going to have some assistance from A. It's going to try to get one goalie barrier, but it's just not going to happen. Dropleto the dribble here with a barrier beam. Looking to maybe find something, but it's Merchant almost getting sent off the map, but still is able to continue that pressure. Nate Chaotic with a Bell Ringer looking to find something. The double evade comes through. The Crater Maker is going to take out Name Chaotic before he's able to find too much of an opportunity. Strike from Morella comes through, but the Fool is playing so well defensively, positioned so incredibly on this Finny, making it very hard to find any sort of checkmate for the side of BOZO Bunch. Name Kodak now able to send it through the barrier, but not able to find too much. Again, the pass splitter going to go wide on the Asher. Flip comes through onto the top side. Not going to be a goal. A sends it up. The Bell Ringer almost scores an own goal, but it's not going to be found right just quite yet. A is able to find one goalie barrier for Polar Cortex. Dropleto now again with the core. Is able to find an opportunity with this, maybe. Barrier beam again goes through, and a little bit of a field goal sends it through. A and the Fool, a rare defensive misplay, and I say rare because I already feel like we've got a trend going on. It's only 3 points in the series.
Oh yeah, it might as well have been 3 sets. Holy moly. But right between the legs right there, what we're really seeing is that BOZO Bunch is able to steamroll these barriers really quickly, which makes a lot of sense. They have the Asher, and just the name of the game is get in the corner and get through. It's a lot harder to get through the open net, though. Asher not as strong in that scenario. And even so, BOZO Bunch is still pushing Polar onto the defense all the time. They have so much control with this Luna, this Juno, and especially just anytime the ball is in open space, Merchant is on it, and that's going to be getting them the set right here.
Yeah, well played. Dropleto gets the MVP, though. Honestly, felt like any of them could have really got it. That was such a long set.
Yeah, and here we see not an abundant number of like, not really brawler awakenings. You're not sitting here, Asher, being like, some bulk up, some, I don't know, fill in the blank. There are so many good ones. But Prime Time, probably going to be the best pick, going to be very nice. A great deny from A as well. Just good value all over. Glass Cannon on the Luna also very, very nice. The speed, I think, on A with this Among Titans is going to be a big difference maker. Again, we've been seeing BOZO Bunch control the open space so well, and so having that extra speed to fill in that gap, get a little bit more control, so that once they get it out, or once their defense has been settled, they're able to mount an offense. I think that's going to be incredibly valuable, and is definitely the biggest pick that they have here. And we're already seeing a lot of the value. That's one barrier down, and A is just moving all over the place.
Moving just a little bit, this rune. Now you're able to cover even more space, make Dropleto's life that much more miserable. Strike Wars come through here on the corner offense. Named Chaotic now able to open up the gate. Merchant tries to find a sneaky little play there with a Luna Burst, but it's going to cost him dearly. Named Chaotic able to get a dimer from the Fool's special, sends it right into the net. That's a point on the board for Polar Cortex.
Yep, that's one big boom. That's a Monufinial right there. Going to be facilitating that one. Almost certainly many more to come. I look at the matchup of Luna goalie into anything Finny does, like anything. And it's not very favorable for Luna. Obviously, Merchant has been great on the offense. Oh my god. And, like, we're seeing it there. Just a play spearheaded by him. Going to be getting one goal right there. But once pushed on the defense, he's doing well in the open net, but still just, it's very easy to overwhelm Luna, the character. It's just not a whole lot, especially if Named Chaotic's going to sit on him, if the Fool is going to be putting these big finishes in his net, it's going to be very tough. But if they're able to weather that storm, they can make big plays just like that last point.
Yeah, flip could have come through. Whoa, that redirect looked a little wonky. No way Merchant could react to that one. That's going to be Nate Chaotic credited with that. What hit that? I didn't even see. I thought it was a Finny secondary.
His aura, I don't know.
Just pure unbridled, just brawler stank. That's right, unfortunately hit the core, caused the core to just run away from him. It's just pure horror. And right now, speaking of pure horror, Finny in a 1v2 actually manages to save it here against Merchant and Dropleto. Gramella not able to rotate there on time to save that final goalie barrier. Things are looking up and up here for Polar Cortex.
Yeah, definitely. They have the ball, they have the open net, and they're able to rotate it around. Not quite able to get it to Named Chaotic right there through the portal, but still, this offense is looking very strong. They're able to consistently maintain it. The BOZO defense holding strong so far, but that's going to be the X Maximus getting it right through. Again, only so much the Luna can do. You saw Merchant rip the dash there to try and get it through, but by that point the ball was already behind Named Chaotic, coming back to him, and at that point it was wraps. And hey, last draft mentioned that there weren't that many Brawler Awakenings. Welcome X. Take your pick. You can have bulk up right here. But that is, I'm looking at Deadeye, eyes peeled, maybe even Hotshot, but that's going to be taken by the Fool. I think we're getting Team Player and Deadeye on the Juno instead. Gramella picking up that Deadeye Reptile Remedy, going to A. And, well, again, Brawler Awakenings, welcome heavy impact to Dropleto on that last pick. I do think this Hotshot's going to be a big threat. Luna does not have a lot of ways to deal with core speed, and picking up the Team Player is obviously going to be great. Plenty of core speed for the BOZO Bunch themselves. So now, going to be a bit of an awkward battle, especially once it hits overtime. I do think, though, that if the Hotshot's going to be getting value for Polar Cortex, that means that BOZO Bunch is already in a position where they're kind of cooked. Because, again, the Luna can only do so much. So I think Hotshot will be doing very well for them. Once they're in the positions to make it valuable, that value is just going to go straight to the moon.
Yeah, Strike War won by the Fool, but unfortunately the bounce just sends it right back into Dropleto's hands. Takes that freebie, sends it into the top side of the corner. He's able to find that goal there. BOZO Bunch, a slight lead here in the set. Things are looking up for them, but we'll see if they'll be able to close it out. As you mentioned, a lot of threats coming around. And one that has not reared its head just quite yet here is that X, who's already on his way to scale.
Yep, certainly. We are witnessing right now, peel them eyes, set 3X. Famous power spike for the character right here. He's looking pretty good. Has quick strike bulk up, like, not bad. Gotta be pretty happy if you're named Chaotic. Just gonna be skating around. Has the stacks too. Has this flips. Gonna be using it right here, getting the barrier. And a Polar Cortex is due for a bit of a swing this match here. They got the last set. They're carrying the momentum, and I think that they have a good chance of taking it, or at least getting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you, Z Yoshi has passed away. Seems that he has died in a car accident driving over to his mother's anniversary. So, unfortunately, we are going to take a moment of silence to honor his memory. Oh, and he's back with us. We can hear him from the grave right now. Z Yoshi, what's it like in the afterlife?
I'm dead. I don't know. I was talking the whole time, and I guess my Discord has crashed. I stopped talking, and you weren't talking. I was like, that's weird. What is this guy doing? What does he mean? That's my fault. But that's going to be another BOZO bunch point right there as we are getting back into the match. And a third one. Hey, what if there was one more real quick? A swift 13-second point to seal out that set. Wow.
Yeah, that's a quick point coming out from BOZO Bunch. They're going to be able to seal out this set. And it looked a little bit back and forth, but BOZO Bunch now going to be able to pull themselves away here. Grimella here, not too much of a pick. Gonna actually just take the Timeless Creator as a deny away from the rune here.
Yep, going to be very nice to just not deal with rune with Timeless. Very annoying. Big pillars sprouting up. The built different being picked up, just size denied from the X, not letting it go through, is going to be picking up Super Surge. Still, not bad. X with a Dash Awakening feels really nice. The Super Surge does a lot of damage. It means that he's going to have more range, turns the dash from a stubby little nothing burger into a full-fledged move. Which is going to be really nice. We're going to have to see if we can get some value. Again, like, both sides Awakenings denied. I think if one was picked up, Merchant's Life becomes a super giga hell of no fun and infinite agony. Not happening here. Size denied, but still gonna have to deal with the X in the first place. Size or no.
Yeah, we'll see. Dropleto now going to be in a good position as well. I think both brawlers pretty set up here to take over the game should their teams enable them. Speaking of enablement, Dropleto is able to find that off the bounce, but named Chaotic, unfortunately, a pass is just not great. Gets sent right past two team members into the waiting arms of named Chaotic. He's going to convert immediately on that mistake, and that's a point for Polar Cortex.
Yep, right there. That was the Super Surge, just dashing it in. It was saved, but still put the ball in such a difficult position that Named Chaotic was able to capitalize. And now, we are seeing, before earlier sets, BOZO was just getting these barriers super easily. Not the case anymore. We're seeing, I think, the Asher value kind of fall off. Dropleto is having a much harder time getting through the rune and the Finny, and they're not having as easy of a time getting the ball over to the enemy side. That being said, big KO, Named Chaotic down, stacks gone, and that's going to be both barriers right there. Perhaps a new win condition is opened up right here, as this is looking like a great BOZO bunch point.
Yeah, the corner offense looking very strong, but the Fool manages to thread the needle there in the clear. Now another opportunity, but the Juno blob is right there and waiting to deny any sort of shenanigans that the Fool wants to do. It's going to be an evened up set as BOZO Bunch look to take back this set and take the game for themselves.
Yep, right here. I'm looking at A, no energy. Dropleto also no energy. Could it be targets? But it seems like neither of these teams are really, like, feasting for KOs. You know, last match we were watching a real couple KO heavy teams duke it out, but this match is definitely much tamer, much more control focused. A lot of energy burned, not a lot of energy to be seen, but that's going to be Polar sitting in a very comfortable position, able to get both barriers and almost get the goal. The defense from BOZO is good, but still no energy right here, looking to make something happen. And that's a big dash kill for Polar Cortex right here.
Yeah, it looked real good. The primary from the Fool immediately sending it into Name Chaotic. Name Chaotic able to find a second one as well. That is a strong point coming out of Polar Cortex. The energy reset, what little energy BOZO had, has now been sent even farther into the gutter. Name Chaotic just a few swings away from getting his flip. And from the conversions that we've seen so far, if given the opportunity, it can be quite devastating. 1 KO already going to be found.
Right, 1 KO. That does also mean stacks on drop has been reset. Everyone in the lobby has stacks. These KOs are going to be super meaningful. No energy for Name Chaotic here, but still barreling through this corner. Both barriers down. Merchant looking to get the ball forward, looking for any chance to make an offense. That's going to be flip burned. Now energy kind of reset across the board. Next flip coming up is dropleto, but BOZO Bunch is going to have to suffer through this onslaught if they want to get any value out of it. Otherwise, the set's going to end right here, and it's going to be set 5. Tie game.
Yeah, that's scary. That is not a situation you want to be in. Oh, the banish is so scary, but it's able to be cleared away by BOZO Bunch. Grimella, though, not able to catch the rebound off the rune pillar. That's going to be a set 5 coming out here in game number 1. A going to take that credit, but the Fool going to have your first pick of draft.
Yeah, an unfortunate miss right there, but we are looking at second pick for Grimella. I'm looking at extra special on the Fool. That could be devastating for everything that BOZO Bunch cares about. Inner focus, not too different. Still going to be a lot of CDR on every ability. Another stacking awakening. Not like they're going to be getting a KO on the Fool. It seems very unlikely, but that means extra special going to Grimella. Peak performance onto Name Chaotic in tandem with bulk up is very scary. Getting that third pick is a huge threat. Set 5x. Talked about set 3 earlier. Here, this guy is just a monstrous build. Bulk up and peak performance alone are enough. He's dead. He is gone. He is not on the field anymore. Wow. Goodness.
Unfortunately, Stagger does not protect you against the wall, as sometimes the dash punch is just going to happen. Yeah, Polar Cortex immediately falling apart after that disastrous start. 1 point here for BOZO Bunch and a big point in set number 5 of this game.
Yeah, just an explosive start. We see the Fool, no energy. Almost got KO'd. That thing that I said wasn't going to happen, we almost watched happen. And obviously a lot of CDs burned for BOZO Bunch. Not quite able to happen now, but still, the threat of that KO coming out is very tangible, as we just saw. But here it is, the big finish. Able to be defended away. Dropleto coming back on the defense to help. Going to be getting a lot of value out of that.
Oh.
Has these primetime primaries to just stop any sort of onslaught and really help with the big finish. Still, though, that's going to be a nice shot from Name Chaotic. The net open, and Polar Cortex are going to be taking a point for themselves, tying up this game. It is back and forth here.
Yeah, I want to call out A there. What a beautiful banish on a dropleto, preventing any sort of flip shenanigans from happening. Just what saved them on that defense. It's going to put Polar Cortex in a good position here. One barrier already going to go down in the hands of Name Chaotic. A second one, though, maybe coming out. No, going to be defended by the Fool. A going to maybe look for another opportunity. Name Chaotic very comfortable in the opponent's corner here, but look at dropleto. So confident in his midfielder to get it to him. The dash punch comes through. The flips are going to be exchanged, but it's going to be the pillar that defends this final goalie barrier. Bandage comes down for now. Name Chaotic finally able to get the strike that sends it out, but it's going to be right back into the fray. Flip comes through. A now on defense is able to rotate back, but that pillar, it would bite him in the chin just a little bit. Name Chaotic, the dash forward sends it right into the net, and finally the X has come alive. We talk so much about the defensive core of Polar Cortex, but this is the brawler that these two have believed in this entire time, and right now he is delivering.
Yep, Name Chaotic right there had the space to get what he needed to, able to get the dribble, the dash in, and punish BOZO Bunch's positioning. Great play. Now 1 point away from winning the game. Here, one barrier away from opening the net. Going to be very nice. A ton of damage coming in. Just the X special, but a big dash punch KO from dropleto right there, shutting down A. And now BOZO Bunch has almost all the control of the ball. Is just looking for an opportunity to get their offense going. Merchant coming in, not quite able to get it, but almost had the flip. Energy burn to evade the banish, and this could be it.
Yeah, it's going to be an open net. Those creations were just so overbearing. Dropleto trying to find the score here. It's going to be up to all members of BOZO Bunch on the offense, but they cannot make it happen. It goes again into the hands of Named Chaotic on this monstrous X, and he sends it there. The unreactable 50-50 into the bottom side. Polar Cortex is going to be taking the first game of the series.
Yep, very well played from Polar Cortex. Took a little bit to get their bearings in that first set, but were able to get everything they needed, get a grip, and it's, I think, plain and simple, the X scaled. He showed up, was not abundantly valuable early on in the game, but once that bulk up came alive, that was it. It just able to mow through everything that BOZO Bunch had, and again, Monu Finney doing a great job. Just every time it was on the barrier, it was a nightmare. For how defensive the team is, the Fool on Finney was able to get so much done on offense that it always felt like both teams were throwing these three-man offenses, but obviously the defense from Finney is a lot stronger than we can see out of Aluna, and it ended up giving them the edge in that match.
Yep, 100% agreed. I think that this Finney pick is incredibly strong. I think most people can agree on that. And just like you mentioned, the three-man offenses that we saw there on the final point, just the Rune Pillar and the Finney creation going down and just creating quite literally just an unwinnable situation. Nothing outside of like a Dubu barrier would have been able to save that. And I just want to draw attention to this 8+1 performance on Named Chaotic. Incredibly strong. Obviously, the Fool in A looked so good in the back line, and they were there to enable Named Chaotic when he needed it most, but he was the one to deliver. I think that the story that we're going to see out of Named Chaotic for this season is going to be something that's really, really interesting. I think that a lot of people kind of rated him probably at the lower end, if not the lowest ranked brawler in the entire league. But this is still a NASL brawler. This is still a brawler that the other two team members have invested in and really, really tried to kind of bring up. And I think that we are seeing that performance here. An 8+1 performance in NASL is nothing to scoff at. And if we continue to see that, Polar Cortex are going to be able to take some wins off of some veteran teams here.
Yeah, absolutely. In NASL, we've seen kind of a historic trend towards midfielders helping on offense, getting goals much more often, especially on picks like Estelle, Aimee, sometimes Vice. Like, those are picks that are able to help the brawler score. And, that's how you win. You want to put the ball in the net. And so seeing a big 8-1, it warms my heart. Kind of I can't say return to form. That's a different team, but kind of a Polar Cortex if you really think about it. And they move so well. Like you said, both A and the Fool have invested so much in Named Chaotic. And obviously he showed up, he delivered. I really appreciated how, like, everything that A did in that match. Obviously, the midfielder, something I've said before is that if they're doing a really good job, you don't notice as much what they're doing. I think that's what we really saw. It looked like the Fool was going crazy on defense. Named Chaotic was going and tearing it up on offense. And there was being the glue, if you will, just holding everything together. I think a big thing that A was doing that I really appreciated was every time Drop had the ball and was looking to make an attempt on the barriers, he always had a pillar to shut it down. Yeah. And it was very effective about doing that, which made it difficult for BOZO Bunch to get any sort of offense down, always getting interrupted, which is really hard to deal with. I think the Rune on paper should be very good into this team, and we just saw it right there in action. So we'll have to see how BOZO Bunch is going to react to that, what they're going to do. Could just pick it themselves, not deal with it. I don't think they would ban it, but I don't think it was like so overwhelming, but obviously it did really well into the team, so it got to be something that they have to respond to.
Yeah, I'm very curious as to what is prioritized into the upcoming draft. Obviously, I think it's shown now X pretty big pick just in general, but also between these two players in particular. It's named Chaotix's like go-to secondary. Dropleto is quite literally known for his ability to pilot the character, and with how strong this pick is, it might be worth contesting. Obviously, I think that Merchant is kind of that ban magnet. You never want to see him on the Vice. It's just a tried and true eternal thing. It feels like that Vice is just a cut above everyone else's, but we'll see what both teams opt to go in for. Is actually it's going to be an X ban coming out from Polar Cortex just saying, all right, not going to deal with it. We don't want to be on the opposite end of what we just dished out to you. We're just going to give you that Vice and see what you can do.
Yeah, right now, I think X has been incredibly... He's been in the position where he's pick ban. If you're not first picking X, you better hope you're banning him. You better hope that there's not something you want to ban more, because nobody wants to deal with the X. And so, like you said, Polar realizing that they do not have the first pick, just not dealing with the X at all. But that means Vice is going through, and I think Vice is disgustingly broken on this map. Vice it's so good. You are always in kind of that midfield space, always in the fray, always just churning out damage like butter. There's so much buttery damage all over your lobster, and it's so effective. And with how Merchant plays it, just it's beautiful. I'm excited for this match. We're gonna see some vintage Merchant, and also Finiban not dealing with that. They've been banning Dubu, I think, every game in NASL so far. You'd have to double check, but Dubu, I don't think is that guy on this map. Definitely not that scary. So a Finiban, incredibly, especially after that last game, incredibly reasonable. And they have Merchant Vice. I like the Bozo draft. I'm excited.
Yeah, I wanted to point kind of attention to what you said earlier with a vintage Merchant. It really does feel like Merchant is a player from a different era of a Mega Strikers. We're kind of in the day where everyone picks everything and just plays what's strong in the meta, except Merchant. That guy picks Vice or Luna and just rolls with it. So I'm super excited. He's probably the only character specialist left as a starter in the North American Strikers League, and this is that specialization we're about to see in Demon Dice.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like he was playing 2026 Omega Strikers in 2023-24. Like, this guy is he's been on it since day one. So again, I'm strapped in, ready to see what this game can bring us. I'm super excited. And until then, well, we're loading. There's no until then. It's going to take like 10 seconds. Welcome to the filling space portion of the cast where we have nothing to talk about. I'm looking at Juliet. I'm looking at Vice. Like, I'm excited. We're getting into it right now. We're almost there. Aren't you excited?
Woo! Yeah! Omega Strikers! Woo! Yeah! Well, we're going to be here loading into the game in just a second. There they are, the emotes flying out. I'm a punch from Dropleto, and immediately starting a drive at downfield. Almost taken off the map to start, but we've got a corner offense going. We've got a corner offense done. We're now in the game proper.
So I'm noticing something, and that's not Merchant Vice. Am I stupid?
Whoa. Wait.
It seems like
they're blue team. Whoa.
It seems like they're Polar Cortex has the Vice, and everything we were talking about. Not quite. Somewhere along the line, there was a little misinformation fruit. Took a little nibble. It was delectable. But here, Polar Cortex is kind of getting railed. The Vice is having some trouble getting it through. Able to get it out, but complete paradigm shift. This is a full Vice, which is also very impressive. I'm also excited. We still got the Merchant Luna, etc. It's going to be putting it in the net right there. Boom.
Yeah, that was a bit of a cash money goal cha-ching there. Dropleto absolutely just dabbing it up to Merchant, giving a beautiful first goal of the game. Grimella, though, has flipped to make plays of his own. We'll see. Maybe Name Chaotic has something to say about that flip from Merchant, forced to be burned defensively. But oh no, 2 KOs have been found as both teams exchange that first KO.
Yeah, 2 big booms right there. Merchant getting taken out, and also falling. Dropleto looking for anything, but here the shoes on the other toe as Polar is getting their offense, got both barriers down. Dropleto has no energy, could be a big threat. The full has a big flip. Name Chaotic forced to burn the flip. Merchant taking that right there, getting his one back. Name Chaotic doing some dribbling and taking the shot in the bottom, able to get it, and that's going to be an even score. Polar Cortex looking to bring it back after that first point, and kind of the story of their last game too. I think that they have much more fight with their team comp early on, with the Juliet, the Juno, both out of the box, nice characters, as opposed to Aimee, Luna, Rasmus, which are all characters that I think will do better later in the game. So we'll have to see if BOZO is going to be the one scaling this time, or if Polar Cortex is able to just take every chance they get and run away with it.
See this early game going to be pivotal for BOZO Bunch. It's right now the goal is going to be taken off the map. Merchant looking to maybe score himself, but not able to find it. Rest of his team there is going to back him up. Pendulum swing not going to connect in time. Merchant now awkwardly has to run back. So again, the triangle starts to form. The offense is once again begins. Cyber Swipe comes through. The flip, unfortunately, is going to miss. Now an opportunity to follow up on that mistake. Name Chaotic looking to march the court forward and maybe get some goalie barriers back for himself. As a flame flurry comes through, 1 KO going to be found. The pull goes away. Now the flip's going to be burned. It's going to be an open net, but this is a little bit scary now as we get in overtime. Both teams the ability to score instantly off of these teleports from the goalie. The stalling is perfect as well. Carmella able to rotate back and finally find some footing. His Name Chaotic, though, is able to find it. The signature feels like single dribble from Name Chaotic, causing so much chaos among the roster of BOZO Bunch. That's a second point going over to Polar Cortex.
Yep, he's able to get these over and over, I think in part because he's playing into Luna. And so Luna's not really a character that demands a lot of space outside of Rip and ult. And without abilities, something like a dash to cover the wide net, it's just been a very comfortable, like, I'm going to dribble and shoot where the Luna's not. And it just keeps working. On the other side, though, BOZO Bunch kind of roaring back to life. This frog's got fangs or something, as they're getting both barriers and looking to get their offense going. But I think they're just having trouble with that offense. They had the open net last point, but we're just not able to get it all together.
Yeah, I could agree with that much. And we'll see as BOZO Bunch once again on the defense, looking to find any sort of value out of these Juno blobs, but I think struggling quite a bit to get a lot of range going on. Flip going to be burned here by the Fool on the defense. Unfortunately, not able to snipe away that final goalie barrier, but the Supernova is here. Just going to deal 2/3 of Gramella's HP bar very, very casually. Now might have to burn this Flip defensively. No, playing with fire here, and that fire is going to allow BOZO Bunch to cook a little bit. They're going to be the ones grabbing up the goal and evening out the set.
Yep, Merchant dashed in there. It did not hit anything as Core's bottom side, and then walked down and put it in, which is just... It warms my heart. You know, he's not on the Vice, still on the Luna, but I still stand by this guy just going absolutely crazy, as that's another 2 barriers. 1, 2 big booms right for the BOZO Bunch.
And now looking to respond, but that is no HP and no evade. Able to find 1 goalie barrier, but every second you stay up there is another second. But oh my god, Merchant almost finds the goal out of nowhere, but unfortunately doesn't get the strike that they need. The Fool now has to defend this against dropleto, but that no stagger on the Rasmus doesn't actually mean anything. Gramella finds that snipe into the top side of the net, and it was looking finicky for both teams, but BOZO Bunch claws their way out of this one and grabs the first set.
Yep, very well played right there. And hey guys, welcome to, we could be looking at Deadeye Extra Special, big Luna win. It does mean we could see the bulk up deny not coming through. That means Name Chaotic picking up that bulk up. That's pretty scary. We saw what that guy was doing last game with bulk up, and you know, X and Julie are different characters. Shocker, I know, but still just able to get the range at which they can KO just blows up so significantly with that bulk up. So that's going to be a big pickup, a big give right there. But obviously, extra specialized training Luna is a threat, a real menace to be discussed. If nothing else, because it demands all of your energy. If you do not evade it, you are dead. You are dead, and you have no choice. you are done. And so I think that gives the BOZO Bunch a lot of leverage here in the energy economy.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. So we'll see some of those Crater Makers fly out, but soon enough, Grimel is going to be the one to focus on his own life. Merchant looking to play that second midfielder, not able to give dropleto the perfect opportunity to score in this one. dropleto now swing for the hills, not able to find anything though in this situation. Finds a little bit of stagger onto A, but the defense is going to be made here. The Juno Slimes are perfect to get that clear out.
Yep, and we're looking at Merchant, just one hit away from that flip, going to be getting it off the dash. Barrier going down, but that's a KO onto A, which means Grimella also close to a flip. None of BOZO Bunch needs it. They're able to just get it through dropleto, hitting a nice strike war. Big win right there, one on the board, and BOZO Bunch are looking a lot more confident this game.
Yeah, and with these energy bars sort of ramping up for Polar Cortex, there is that specialized training, extra special, just saying that if you want to use flip, you're going to have to suffer for it, and there is the Fool just using it to get it out, because holding your flip against this team composition with these awakenings is just poor practice.
And here coming in, just a nice offense. See Merchant dashing up, just a huge push into that corner right there. dropleto on the out clear, able to cover. No energy, no problem. Just going to be putting that one in. Bing, bang, boom. 22-second point. And again, BOZO Bunch are just, they're rolling. They are looking very comfortable. They're looking in their element here. And if they're able to score this next point, get it done, then this could be a very quick game.
Yeah, and just that damage from the Luna onto A. Again, Juno, quite literally, the tankiest midfielder in the game, is struggling to keep that HP bar up against the onslaught of the Luna here. Chaotic is able to get one barrier off the flip, but there is no stagger for this poor Juliet now. Has to limp away to get the orb, but Core is still able to come to Chaotic. Merchant, though, a good strike to keep that defense going. 22 seconds into the round, and both teams already has so many narrow escapes here on the defense.
Yep, Grimella looking low, but that's going to be the last barrier found right there for BOZO Bunch. Looking to get this offense going, force onto defense here. And again, Grimella, big threat, big low right here. As that's going to be a KO onto A, a KO onto dropleto. Here all of a sudden, oh, Polar Cortex almost had a great opportunity right there, taking out drop. But hey, that's the IME midfield. He's going to be scoring for the Brawler when the Brawler's not there, and that's BOZO Bunch going up 2-0 in sets right here. dropleto has his pick, can take some size, dash awakening. We're seeing the Fool hover that heavy impact. It's going to be taken. Not going to be letting that through. Not going to be letting Vice get the big guitar of 1,000 points of damage. But explosive entrance, definitely not the same flavor of the different flavor of the same thing. Sorry, got a little tongue twisted. Stacks on Grimella I think is very interesting, especially after that last point. Looking a little low, but if these stacks can get up, I think that's kind of game. An IME with enough speed to cover the whole map just kind of crushes every other midfielder. Seems like a very, very difficult matchup no matter who you are. So I think BOZO Bunch picked up a lot of big awakenings. The Fool with explosive entrance is going to have to kind of carry in the damage department, which is tough because, again, like, you're going up against extra specialized Luna. Merchant is going to blow your nose off if you don't evade. So I don't know how they're going to compete in damage. We'll just have to see. They're killing Grimella. They're kind of competing in damage right now. Oh, boom.
And unfortunately, IME able to serve that first pick to his Brawler on a silver platter, and unfortunately gets punished for it. Is going to be sent off onto the edge of the map. The Crater Maker, though, where did the Fool's health bar go? Just shot dead here in the streets. dropleto gets the pressure going, but Grimel is the one to seal it away, I believe, with a Firewall Sentry. That's going to be another point, and BOZO Bunch continue their dominance here on Demon Days.
Yep, 2 more points to even out the game count this series. They're looking very, very good right here. Very confident. We saw the Fool taking a big evade out of dropleto. Has a little bit of that energy influence that Luna has. And oh my god, the specialized ult has devastated the BOZO Bunch. There's nothing left. Merchant's gone. Grimella's next. Oh, and it's looking a bit like a polar sweep this point.
Yeah, absolutely thrown right into the ring of pain. Chaotic, such good flame flurry to just get all the damage, recognizing what he could get away with right there, and that is going to be the play that puts Polar Cortex on the map. Name Chaotic actually able to take a Crater Maker right to the chin. Unfortunately, it won't mean too much. A goalie barrier is going to be lost.
Yeah. Name Chaotic in A, though, looking a little low. Able to tank the spec ult from Luna, but still struggling with all the rest of the damage BOZO Bunch is putting up. And now one barrier for Polar Cortex. Looking for their opportunity. There's all the energy burned. Big value. Big KO on A right there. And here another BOZO Bunch power play. And they have so much control this game. They are dominating the tempo, as that's going to be just a gorgeous pass back right there. Getting them another point, 1 point away from tying up the series.
Yeah, that's the play where you do that with your midfielder and you feel good. You're both smiling after that one. And that is going to propel BOZO Bunch into potentially game point here. Grimella is able to get one barrier, but at the cost of most of his HP bar. That isn't to say that the damage is just done quite yet. Both Polar Cortex and BOZO Bunch have a lot to dish out should the opportunity be given. We'll see, though, what comes forward here for this game.
Yep, that's going to be barriers down. That's going to be almost the goal right there. Dropleto has this flip. Grimella is still half HP. Flip burned. Name Chaotic forcing it out with the Spec Julie ult. Hook going wide does not matter. A nice dribble into the corner is going to be sealing it out. Dropleto in the 1v1. Able to get his one over the Fool and take BOZO to a 1-1 in game count. Total. Big win for the BOZO Bunch. That's got to be very nice after being so close last game, getting the win, tying up the series. You know, ready to go to game 3, feeling refreshed. I think Polar there were looking a little deflated by the end, just struggling to deal with everything. But BOZO Bunch just had so much over them. They had the damage, they had the control, they had the offense. Like that, it was incredibly difficult to play into. But Polar Cortex, I think very well known as a team with a pretty strong mental, able to weather the storm. So I think both teams going into game 3 got to be feeling pretty okay. It's going to be close. Again, just back and forth here. Both these teams, we've got ourselves a good one.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. BOZO Bunch of firing back after a close game 1 loss. I think that even though no one put up the same kind of impressive numbers that Name Chaotic put up in game 1, I think there was still a lot of cohesion. It felt like everyone was kind of playing everything. Grimella and Merchant holding down the back line, but just being able to pop up forward and assist Dropleto on the drop of a hat, I think put a lot of pressure on the Fool that we didn't see like the direct effects of, but I think that mental sack really made it hard for the Fool to fully focus on his game plan. I feel like we didn't see a lot of aggression that we've come to usually see from the Vice with those teleports forward, with that damage coming up, with those charged Supernova. It didn't feel like we saw a huge presence of that Vice, despite it being a fantastic map for her.
Yeah, BOZO just had so much control that the Fool never had these opportunities to push up. And then we're talking about the story of every eject goalie where you pick it because of its offensive potential, not an outstanding defensive pick. And so once you are forced onto defense all the time, you just you have to sit there and watch as you bleed out. You don't have the tools to defend against, especially a 3-man offense. You know, eject mirrors. If one team gets the edge, it is so much harder for the other team to get any sort of purchase. They're just fighting like we're talking uphill battle, but it's a steep incline, 90-degree kind of thing. 89. We'll be generous.
Right.
And so like how do you come back from that? It takes a lot. But I don't think we'll be seeing many eject goalie. Well, hello Merchant. We'll be seeing some eject out of that guy, but welcome to Taiko Temple, where we're banning I almost said banning the BOZO. We're banning the Dubu, this stupid BOZO, and banning the Vice, not letting any of that through. The goalie picks are being targeted, but BOZO Bunch on that first pick X. It's Taiko. It is not a massive map. X just excels in these corner maps where you just get to do 8 million damage in the corner, and you just get to, devastate small nations right there. And obviously Dropleto, the X guy, big X guy, is going to be having a lot of motion there. Although I think the draft might be flipped, like last game, because what was it? I don't know. No Bozo Bandibu. I'm just making things up. I saw the Asher pick. That is the full Asher. I was thinking, oh, maybe that's Dropleto, and he's picking Asher Brawler. Like, I don't think Name Chaotic would pick that. They'd pick the Julie. I don't know if I've ever seen him play Asher. It's the full on Asher. Again, sit. Don't get too excited, guys. Sit down. The Asher goalie is here for another riveting game of Omega Strikers on Taiko Temple. But they're the Bozo bunch rounding out their draft. X, Luna, Aimee, looking pretty par for the course, and you have to see what brawler pick Polar Cortex is going to be rounding off their stuff. Whoa. 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 Maybe it is the Asher forward.
I'm waiting for the stream on my end to catch up so I can see the 6 pick. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Oh, you're going to be excited.
The Atlas. It is that Name Chaotic Asher, which I think, is going to be interesting, making its way over to the debut stage. Not something that we see picked a lot from the player, but we are in 2016 in Omega Strikers. Brawlers do play anything, and I mean, the thing that differentiates the goods from the greats in the brawler role is the ability to think a bit and pick what you feel is right. So we'll see what comes of it. I think the player to be watching this game obviously is going to be the drop. I think my camera just died. Did my camera just fall over?
I think it did. I think I watched the stream replay back at real time. You calmed your camera death for me. That was awesome.
Wait. Yeah, I got hit. Well, I was about to talk some smack here on a Dropleto, but I think he just hit me from another dimension right there. That's the swings, right? And I think that this is Dropleto's character in X's meta on a map that super duper favors him. This is like X turbo nuclear charge to the moon times 5,000. If you are a Dropleto fan, if you're a Bozo Bunch fan, if you're a Gwonder Fortnite God 2016 fan, this is going to be your match to watch, because I feel like the Tarot has come out and the card reveals death, and in the little interpreter's manual for the Tarot cards, it actually says we're gonna kill a Name Chaotic in the Fool specifically because this was just gonna happen.
It just had to be, and it's peel those eyes. Fortnite God 2016. Welcome back to 2016, by the way. Is going to be a big showing here. Get your tickets. Did you hear about that ape? Anyway, and we're gonna be seeing, like you said, Name Chaotic on the Asher. I'm excited. It's Julie too. It's a different flavor of Julie. We're just Juliet too. But we've got creations. We've got a little bit more stuffing potential in that primary. Not so much on the dash and the punch. The 2-hit boom bam combo. It's more of a one button fixes all. But this is also the Atlas. I made like a whole lot of noises about the Atlas and how shocked I was, because I got confused a little bit. My expectations shattered. Just completely different thing going on. But I do think the Atlas is incredibly relevant into an Aimee Luna comp. We're going to be doing a lot of healing. We're going to be working to save #save Name Chaotic, because right now I think he's a big slow Asher, which is a giant target. If there's to be some sort of large crater maker type beat going on. Yep, and just like frame 1, Name Chaotic is getting bonked. Like he is in danger. I think Name Chaotic is just, again, Asher, easy target, is going to need these reses to get any value. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty tough day. That being said, both barriers down. Great play in the corner by Name Chaotic. Boom. It's going to be Bozo Bunch having to defend against this Asher all game. Who's just sharking Merchant. They told him. They sat down and said, buddy, you're picking the big character. You were going to sit on the Luna. There's going to be no value to be had on that Luna. Get to it. Glue yourself to that man.
He's literally just following him. I saw for a moment just basically echoing exactly what Merchant was doing on the other side of the map. Unfortunately, not going to mean too much. The ball never going to really go over to his side of the field. Grimella and Dropleto looking clean here on the offense, able to get the first point in the game.
Yeah, Name Chaotic, we saw the one time that Merchant was able to get a dash, able to get past Name Chaotic. They got the second barrier. Like, Name Chaotic, welcome to Dirty Jobs. This guy's going to have to roll up his sleeves and just go absolutely super loser mode. No fun to be had for anyone. Hit on the Luna, or else the Merchant's just going to be... I think the difference maker this game, we were talking about the Dropleto X, and we have to wait a few sets. So X set 1, not a guy. He's something else entirely. But Name Chaotic is going to have just a really rough time. Again, if he's able to shut out Merchant's value, I think that is so incredibly valuable for Polar Cortex. If we don't see that, I don't know. It's going to be a Merchant masterclass.
100% agree on it. And there it is. Name Chaotic not able to walk to the other side of the map just quite yet, and Merchant immediately capitalizes, able to get the alley-oop over to his midfielder, even preserves his own flip in the process as well. This is looking really good for BOZO in set number 1.
Yeah, especially when you consider that this is set 1x winning. Which, you know, the philosophy of the character is to not do that. Is to take a couple L's so that you can come back stronger, etc. Losing to an X early feels terrible. And I do think that the Asher is very similar to X. You know, all brawlers are the same. All brawlers are the same. They all take 30 sets to come online. They all get 500 greasy, disgusting awakenings, and then they go turbo glizzy mode on the beat drop. And until we see that from Name Chaotic, who is again just a big slow Asher, it's just gonna be rough. This is looking like a BOZO sweep.
Yep, can't agree more right now. Things are looking really good. Dropleto trying to preserve his flip for the end of this point here. Vanish does come through. There's going to be a good bit of damage. Name Chaotic now rotating to maybe get that kill sorted. It's just not going to happen. The tempo swing going to allow Dropleto to heal up nicely. Flip as well going to come through. The flips are going to be exchanged, but the Fool able to strike strong and send the core out of there. But the onslaught not over it yet. Grimella still has a flip of his own. Name Chaotic going to want to look to answer. The strike board comes through. It's going to be an open net for both teams. The strike shot is perfect as well. And Name Chaotic an opportunity, but just going to be a little bit too patient. And just like that, the opportunity slips away. The BOZO Bunch is going to be grabbing up set number 1. And now this X, I mean, the stars are aligning. Jupiter is speaking to me right now, and it's telling me that X is going to kill people. It is looking absolutely cosmic right now, what Dropleto is set up to do.
And Mercury is inside of me, and it's whispering things like, "It's gonna be a massacre." And as long as we get all the 500 Atlas abilities out and the strike shot, it's gonna be easy. Speaking of though, we saw a big extra special pick for Grimella right here. Gonna be turret on kickoff every single point, but that leaves twin drive for the Fool. That's pretty scary. I do think that BOZO Bunch has been pretty comfortable on offense. I think Polar Cortex has not had their incredible defensive showing. They did have an incredible offensive showing right there. Oh my god.
Damn, that was 5 seconds. Sometimes that just happens. It feels like Merchant might have slipped up a little bit, and immediately capitalized on that, and then not too much long after Name Chaotic was there to seal the deal. Looking good here for Polar Cortex to start off the set, but immediately they're going to be sent right back on here onto the back foot in this defense.
Yep, very well played by BOZO on that kickoff right there. Able to get one barrier by rotating the ball to Dropleto, who was covering the out clear. And they have the corner offense going right here. Doing a little bit of a rotation, and boom, Merchant's in there, able to get that second barrier. And this team is flowing like water. Something Dropleto, and he's looking to get his opportunity to score here. But Polar Cortex has the defense right there. A flip burned, unfortunately not going to be able to get anything. Merchant with a flip of his own. And it seems like Polar Cortex is just looking for an opportunity. They're just looking for their chance. They're just kind of playing it slow. And I think that was their chance going right there.
Yeah, that slow Asher, like you mentioned earlier, just a sitting duck for all the damage that BOZO Bunch are able to put out. The goal follows not too long after. Dropleto able to put it in. Again, even though he is the lowest level on BOZO Bunch's team, he is the biggest threat currently. Flip going to be burned by the Fool instantly. The flip now going to come through for Dropleto. The barrier beam, though, Asher on her side of the map is able to pull out that defense no matter the situation, but it's just not going to be enough. Dropleto again finds his hand on the core and finds all too easy goals for the BOZO bunch. They're going to be up 2-1.
Yeah, we're seeing just the X kind of maul everything that he comes in contact with. I thought the twin drive was going to be pretty significant on the Atlas, but I don't know, because Drops he's getting these kills, he's getting the barriers. The barriers are really coming down quickly for Polar Cortex, which is a problem because on this Atlas, this melee pick, the barriers are so important to keep up. Just very difficult on the open net compared to when the barriers are up. So these slower goalie picks really want to have those barriers up. If they're not up, then it's trouble. See, that was good. That was a good hold. That is exactly why you picked the Atlas. But like it's onslaught after onslaught. It's like 10 trucks against something small and pathetic. And it's just I don't want to like be specific, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
There's a little bit of roadkill on the floor here, and I think they need something big to kind of bring their game together, because right now it's tough. It's really tough here.
Yeah, it's looking super duper tough. Name Chaotic just never has the opportunity to get the ball rolling, and even though the Fool and A are holding incredibly valiantly right now, it does not mean anything if that core does not go into the enemy net. Finally, though, it does open up, but again, you still have to defend against the onslaught here of BOZO bunch. The Fool now looking to defend away, the secondary blown out of nowhere, and before he could even react, the Crater Maker from Luna just pushes him away. That's got to be a heartbreaker of a set for Polar Cortex, and again, Dropleto going to be walking into the third set with style, going to be able to pick whatever he wants from this draft.
Yeah, we saw right there Dropleto doing the Name Chaotic setup. He got a dribble, he ripped his dash, big core speed coming in, getting it, and taking the peak performance. Just Stagger Awakenings on X, more speed on X, did not take the glass cannon, only one to not take it, has the tempo swing instead. More stagger with this tempo swing means more damage coming out from this X. And I mean, we all saw what happened last set. Like we're watching the same game. The words "more damage" coming out of my mouth for X is kind of the nail in the coffin for Polar Cortex. They need a miracle. They need this prizefighter Asher to like explode, and not in the way that he has been, but like devastate the masses. We did see a hotshot pickup for the Fool. I think that's really significant. Again, I think the core speed could do really well into Luna, who just does not have a lot of options into it. But if they keep getting run over, I don't know. This is a very precarious situation. It is do or die for Polar Cortex right here. They were able to take game one. They have been able to make it this far, but they need to make something happen this set or it's curtains.
Yep. Could not agree more myself. There have been situations where Name Chaotic has been able to convert, but those opportunities have been so few and far between. There's one right there in order to open up the net. Dropleto, though, going to look to swing back. The flip coming up soon. Going to be backed up by the midfielders as well. Name Chaotic going to be limping away, going to be punched right into the drum, and about a pink Oh! What a play from A and no one else in that situation. That was phenomenal. And hey, the drum giveth, the drum taketh. That's just the song of Taiko Temple.
Yeah, I watched it on the replay. It was all A who put a pillar right up into where Grimella was setting the core. Just like an unfathomably unlucky bounce for Grimella being able to hit the core. But A, if you're A, that's the miracle you're looking for. You get that and you're rubbing your hands together. That's a big one. Unfortunately, the good times did not last very long, as that's going to be another point for the BOZO bunch. But it's still just, if I'm Polar Cortex, I'm tucking that one away. That's, in the movies about war where they pull out their wallet and look at a picture of their family, I'm Polar Cortex, and it's a picture of that bounce. And that's what's keeping me going. This is what we're fighting for.
Yep. Yeah, it's the play leading up to the base drop, but as of right now, nothing is happening too well for Polar Cortex. Name Chaotic, maybe an opportunity, but the Asher is just too slow and not able to react to these opportunities that come up for her, which means that dropleto is just going to be able to just swing away. There it is. That's the X damage that we've come to expect out of this late game build. Okay, now going to be removed from the play. Grimella here has the flip in order to confirm whatever point he likes. Not going to use it though, which maybe going to buy a little bit of an opportunity here. No, the defense from Polar Cortex is going to hold for now. We'll see, though, because possession's still solidly into the hands of BOZO Bunch. That Cranium Maker's going to come through, but again, the Fool and A are able to hold with their Brawler's assistance. Overtime now going to come through. The Banish is there, but it really feels like it does more harm than good. A good barrier beam is actually going to take out dropleto, but it's all for naught. That flip from Grimella. Chekhov's gun finally triggers. It's going to be sent right into the top side of the map, and things were looking good for Polar Cortex, but it was just yoinked right from under their feet. BOZO Bunch a point away from closing out the series.
Yeah, I mean, quite literally, just their whole flow was shut down in an instant. They did take Dropleto's Rampage stacks, which is not insignificant, but still, to be so close, that point was looking like a big turnaround. I was revving up to say this is the Polar Cortex that we're familiar with. The defense was super clean, and I think overall at this point too, they're looking pretty confident, able to hold right here. And the longer the points go, I think the more favored they are for Polar Cortex, who just needs to get their one on the Luna. But if that doesn't happen, dropleto close to a flip, this could be the last point of the entire series right here. They are one open net away from getting it done.
Yeah, all members on BOZO Bunch on defense. Ooh, the flick from dropleto. Tried to trick shot it to close out the series, but it's not going to happen. Grimella now going to be staggered, sent off the map. An opportunity maybe after all of this time for Polar Cortex, but the stall is going to be there. Merchant trying to snipe away the point yet again. This entire situation hangs on a razor's edge. It'll be up to BOZO Bunch to finally sever the final hope that Polar has. Looking to maybe start a corner offense. The defense is going to be there, though. The Firewall Sentry makes sure that no corner offense can start today. The flip now going to have to be burned by the Fool. All the cooldowns now going to be burned from this Atlas. It's going to be up to A to pull something out miraculous. The Banish is clean. Name Chaotic, maybe an opportunity, and there it is, an open net. Polar Cortex really have to make play now. It's looking good for Asher, but it's not going to be enough. Grimella trying to snipe away with the primary, the core speed on overtime. So scary. It's going to be dropleto trying to get possession of the core. Merchant sending it forward. It's going to go into the hands of the Fool. The glitch pop is going to be there. The bell ringer not going to be enough. Grimella again finds that Firewall Sentry. The extra special IME, such a pain for Polar Cortex. Again, Merchant an opportunity, but no, this flip is going to go awry. And even though Polar Cortex have had so many things burned, it's not going to find its way into the net. A has to find something good here, but it's just not happening for them. And the pressure is building. The Rune Pillar is going to go through there. Grimella is able to find the Strike War, and Name Chaotic, finally a sigh of relief for everyone involved, is able to put the point away, is able to put the is able to put the core into the net. But even after all that happened, it's still not the end of the set. They've still got a lot of pressure to work it out here.
Yeah, it is do or die for Polar Cortex right there, and they're definitely not choosing to die. They are putting up a great fight. I think the tone of that point was so different. And look, Name Chaotic is starting to move a little differently too. Has this flip. That's going to be both barriers, and they are so close to getting it. Almost able to put it in right there. Still, they have the ball. The Fool has this flip. The Fool was just doing an exceptional job. And that's going to be one set for Polar Cortex right here. It all starts with the trickle, and all of a sudden, from we're on series point to we're back in the mix, Polar Cortex, I think, can breathe a sigh of relief. It's not over. They still have a lot of work to do, but it's not over yet.
Just looking at this draft, Timeless Creator on A is going to be that surge you need, especially on Tycho Temple with how claustrophobic it can get. Those Rune Pillars are going to be a massive problem. But X gets size, X gets stinger, X could get whatever he wants, and this is still set for X. Dropleto is a storm that is here and is only going to get worse. The pickups from the side of Polar Cortex are solid, but will it be enough to bring them out of the woods?
Yeah, the Stinger is going to be a real pain point for Polar Cortex here. But we also saw a big deny from Grimella, the bulk up, not letting it go to Name Chaotic, who's, again, just getting mauled. I think if the Stagger Awakening were able to get to Name Chaotic, it'd be pretty significant. It'd make the BOZO bunch, we're just going to kill Name Chaotic win condition a lot harder to pull off. That's going to be a big deny. Still has size, which is, like, really tough to deal with. It's just going to run over Merchant on defense. But, again, they have the tools now. I think before they were scraping by with just, like, less than the bare minimum. Here, Polar Cortex has the tools to get the game in their realm. Like, in their realm at all. They are still fighting against this Goliath X, this absolute titan monster, disgusting freak character being piloted by Dropleto, who has a big flip, could make something... Sorry. And this is their chance. It's not over. They still have to fight so hard if they want to make it out. But they are.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the thing, is that they are.
Oh my gosh. Merchant just not making it easy, though. It looked like a break finally came for Polar Cortex, but that missile was able to snipe it away. The banish is perfect to prevent that strike war opportunity from Dropleto, but it's not out of the woods just yet. Name Chaotic is able to get some good damage, find that final goalie barrier to open up the net. The 50-50 flip is there, and there it is. Name Chaotic able to get that point in from downtown. The pass is going to be there, and Polar Cortex are looking to recollect themselves after a tough early game.
Yeah, incredibly tough. But this, I can say very confidently, is the Polar Cortex that I'm familiar with. They are looking so sure of themselves. Their gameplay is on lock. That is a Merchant special, Merchant Blast, if you will. Going to be taking that second barrier. But Name Chaotic, I think, started this at level 5 or
yeah,
like level 7. Something. Now level 9, catching up, getting to the big leagues. And I think that's a big indicator for how this game is going for the team. Name Chaotic able to get into the plays and able to get what he needs to get going. And I think that he's having a much easier time scoring on Merchant than Dropleto is on the Fool.
Yeah, and these offenses from Name Chaotic are getting a little bit scarier. Name Chaotic unfortunately going to walk a little bit into the turret, a little bit too much to pay attention to there. Grimella trying to snipe the point away is actually able to do so off the cyber swipe on the IME. Able to get a point. Maybe BOZO Bunch able to recollect themselves and end the comeback before it gets a little too explosive for their liking.
Yeah, we've been talking about Polar Cortex most of the game, but if I'm BOZO Bunch, get a little nervous, right? This game looked so in the bag, and now that it's evening out, like you gotta want to nip it in the bud as fast as possible. Now, again, it all starts with a trickle, and if you let the water start flowing, you might not be able to stop it. That is, though, one big KO onto Name Chaotic. Prizefighter stacks taken away, which is pretty significant, and had an opportunity to get KOs there. Big flip coming out from Merchant, canceled, shut out by the Fool, and Polar Cortex all of a sudden is looking like they're back this point.
Yeah, things are looking on the up and up. The banish comes through. Name Chaotic in a 2v1. The strike board just not there. Maybe an opportunity. No cooldowns to confirm this corner offense. It feels like Grimella as well has rotated back to just assist Merchant in full. Just going to be relying on Dropleto to carry some of those offenses if it gets to him. Overtime now going to be here. X Maximus barely not big enough. This could be it for Polar Cortex, but no, Dropleto has the flip. It's going to be a 1v1. It's going to go the way of Dropleto. The whipped flip, I think, stopped my heart there for a little bit. But Dropleto able to secure it, and again, BOZO Bunch are going to find themselves on series point.
But we call that the space-making flip, which is to say, I'm coping. But still, big shot right there. Dropleto able to capitalize on the opportunity created right there. Back to series point. We are back to this is it for Polar Cortex. They have to make something happen in the next 2 points, and then they go to set 5, and then it's not even over. Meanwhile, BOZO Bunch probably feeling a little bit more comfortable, but still, it is tense. They cannot give anything to Polar Cortex lest they completely blow everything up that they have right here. And they have something very nice that they definitely do not want to give away, which is 1 point away from a big series win, bringing them 2-1. Right here, open net. low health bars, this could be it.
Yeah, things are looking very tough for Polar Cortex right now. A is going to be knocked away, low HP. The entire onslaught of BOZO Bunch showed up for that, but the Fool still holds and importantly preserves his flip. Dropleto just holding it with his axe. Merchant, though, a massive choke. This could actually be a huge opportunity for Polar Cortex. If they're able to get it, the 2v1 is going to be here, and yeah, it goes right past Merchant. And oh no, Merchant choking in an absolutely critical moment means that Polar Cortex again have a chance to bring us to set 5.
That was cataclysmic for the BOZO Bunch. You've got to be feeling a little nervous. That's the inch that you've given them, and now they have the opportunity. Big flip, saving both barriers for Polar Cortex here. The Fool making a boss call right there. Grimella doing the same, cashing out, not letting these barriers go down. Name Chaotic going for it all, though. Not quite able to make it. A big and greedy play, but definitely not unwarranted. That could have been a game winner if BOZO Bunch was not just a little bit more careful. But still, these barriers, that's one refusing to go down. The Fool is getting X'd right now, and this could be their win condition. That's both barriers down. They are looking to take out the Fool and deny. Oh, that's a giant advantage, though, and Name Chaotic able to save it. The Fool is down, but BOZO Bunch has still not put it in yet. It is A against the world right now.
Yeah, and he has to make it happen or the dreams die. And there it is. The 1v3 strike defense happens. Is going to buy the Fool enough time, but it's not going to be enough. The secondary from the Fool is just a millisecond too late. And Grimella and crew can sigh a breath of relief. It really felt like something was coming, but finally the bud was nipped before the comeback could happen. A playing phenomenally, Name Chaotic finding his opportunity to shine, but it just wasn't enough. BOZO Bunch are going to be taking their much-needed series win and ending the first third of NASL 2-1.
Oh my god. Oh my god. BOZO Bunch able to seal it out in the end. We're talking the slimmest of margins on that goal right there, but that's going to be them stamping out the underdogs. Unfortunate to see for Polar fans or hype beasts alike. That was almost such a big comeback for Polar Cortex, but BOZO Bunch, like you said, going to be going up 2-1. Got to be sitting very, very comfy. Not, if you believe it, not many teams 2-1 right now. So taking the upper half of the leaderboard, it's got to feel really nice. Polar Cortex 0-3, unfortunately going to be taking 10th place on the leaderboard right now, and I think that feels bad if I'm incredibly profound and deep right now. But I think that Polar Cortex does not necessarily deserve to be 0-3. They are not a team that is 0-3, and they're not a team that I think will continue to be 0 anything for much longer, especially with this series right here. I'll be honest, you mentioned earlier that some people were doubting Name Chaotic. Hello, I'm one of those people. I've doubted Name Chaotic. Like, in no uncertain terms, I was not a believer. But watching that series, especially that first game and how he came alive in that last game, oh my god. And I've always been a big believer in A and the Fool. I think they're both immaculate players. You saw what the Fool was doing out there. I saw it. We all saw it. Just nightmare crazy stuff. And I think that Name Chaotic is really, really coming into his own as a NASL brawler here. I think the team is doing a little bit of scaling, you know, all those things that you say about a new coming team. But I really believe in this team. I think that they can get some wins. I do not think the leaderboard is telling the full story. And I'm really excited to see more of their games because all of their games are so exciting. They're just so gripping to watch. Again, we all saw what just happened. I was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, I'm sad that it's over. I want more.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, of course, we're going to a week break. We will not be getting some more Polar Cortex action until a little bit. We got a little bit, but I think this is a team to look forward to watching, especially just their growth over the season. I think it kind of sucks to sit here and say, like, guys, you just wait until later, but really I think that they are tangibly improving, and I'm looking forward to seeing their big first win. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be in the chat. I'm going to be popping off. Until then, though, fortunately, it is a BOZO bunch win. Who'd root for those guys? Am I right? And so that's gonna be the last series of NASL. Unfortunately, also I forgot it is a death battle. Polar Cortex. We are going to be killing them. We got Drop on X in the back. I don't make the rules. It's gonna be tough. We're gonna have to figure out where the roster goes from there. But that being said, I think that's it from me. Brickbat. Any last words? Not
Yeah, I
unlike
think
Polar Cortex.
I think you summed it up perfectly. Once Polar Cortex survives their execution, they're going to come back stronger than ever. I mean, what one series does to a single player, we saw it with Wii in the previous season. We saw it with Milkman. We saw it with Zaxsmack, right? Players that were considered very mediocre and maybe even undeserving of their spot coming into the season, but looking phenomenal and absolutely earning their place halfway or even earlier than that into the season. So there's nothing but growth that is possible for Polar Cortex, and I'm super excited because I think one day it'll come together. And we were talking about like this is the stars aligned X, right? Like this is like dropleto on his most powerful pick in his most powerful meta that we've seen in such a long time, and it still looked like something that Polar Cortex were able to contain. So there's just so much potential in this team, and I can't wait to see what they do later.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm strapped in. I'm ready to see how the rest of the season goes. It's been a very exciting season. So obviously, this is the first third. We've got not a lot. No, we have. Sorry, I'm exploding. First third, we've got 6 weeks left. There's a lot of room to make things happen, and so the standings that we have now might shake up later. We have actually a big announcement. Not that big of an announcement. We've got Dropleto, who was on the pre-show and has now won his series and is going to be on the post-show. The Triple Crown has been achieved. I believe
Casted as
last week was casted as well. The Quadruple Crown has been achieved. I believe the first time it ever happened was last week with Vaughn. So Dropleto following suit. Got some Denver land synergy going on right there. Big win for Dropleto right there. BOZO Bunch continues to be on top. Anyway, that's all. I've run out of jokes. I've got no more funny. I'm gonna go eat dinner. I'm gonna go watch the post show. That's it. Don't go home, but I'm going home. We're done.
Very well.
Point of grand finals, a long journey, all comes down to this. Looking for a passing lane, there's the opening on the outside, the pass is wide open, a beautiful shot to the corner, they've reached the summit!
Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Strikers League Season 7, Week 3 post-show. It's your co-hosts, Vaughn and The Fool, and we're joined by Dropleto, 3Z, and Weston. Had to double check. Let's hear how we're doing, fellas.
Dude,
Weston,
look,
let's start with you, I guess.
All right, I'll start. Feeling very good. First win. It feels like a long time ago, but it was really fun, and I feel great.
W first win.
That's facts. And
Go Dogs.
So much. Oh, hold on, you keep it on.
I keep it on?
Yeah. Let's send it over to Dropleto. Dropleto, how do you feel about that close game 3?
I will say I'm glad we had a good series because someone didn't lock Era, which means instantly quality games of Omega Strikers were played. Very happy with that.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now let's go over to 3Z Breezy. This is a big win for 3Z today, taking down RTF and storming back to a second place after dropping their first week. 3Z, how do you feel about your Bombardiers' growth as a team this season?
Well, I'm really happy with it. Obviously, I wasn't happy with how our first week went, but Rat Pack, that's tough competition. And they definitely made us play our best in our next 2 games. Demon Time was tough, but hey, I'm always ready for Gumi. I always show up against that guy. I'm never afraid. And our team is just we're not afraid. We're not afraid of anyone. We're coming to play every week, and this week, game 1, we didn't set ourselves up for success with our draft, but games 2 and 3, we did. We put ourselves in a position to win, and when we do that, anything is possible for our team. So I'm really happy with how my teammates have been playing. Obviously, shaped Mr. Stealth Rock with the role swap. Yeah, just super happy with it. W Luke as well.
W3Z Breezy.
All right, now you take over.
Oh, it's my turn? Okay. As the resident 0-3 team of the season, feeling pretty good, honestly, the games were really good. I felt pretty good about the situation. Didn't do too poorly or anything. So we're improving. We're getting there. First NASL win, at least game this season. Yeah, pretty good.
Growth mindset.
Wait,
baby.
okay.
my team? Damn it.
Yeah, you're the first loss, Dropleto. Dropping a game on Gates.
The classic.
good.
First to
Goddamn.
Era, now to the,
You
Yep.
guys just keep beating up on the rookies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a series of firsts for Dropleto here against Polar Cortex. Anyways, I have to ask the question now, and so the question I'm going to ask is, will Polar go 0-9 this season? You decide. What do you think? Go down the line, team.
First line 3Z.
right.
Right.
Bastard. Will Polar go 09? No, you're not going 09. If Name Kodak slides in my DMs and I give him some coaching, you guys are definitely picking up at least a win. Regardless, though, you guys are picking up a win. I can feel it. It's
Hell
coming.
yeah. I like the faith. All right, Dropleto, you're next.
I just want to say, if it was last week, I would have been like, oh, hell no. They're going to pick Era. But today, we saw Era was open all 3 games, and not a single time she was locked in, which means we have learned and grown as people, which means we're not going 09. Let's go Polar Cortex.
Massive W. Type some exclamation point errors in the chat. All right, Weston, how about you?
Yeah, I think you guys are growing. I think you'll win a game somewhere, and like the logo, the storm, it builds up. So you guys will get stronger as you go. You can do it.
Hell yeah. I appreciate the confidence. All right, I'm going to pass it over to my co-host.
All right, guys, that was the post show. I hope you
Wait, well,
enjoyed
what do you
it.
think? Is Polar going 09?
Are they going 0-9? What do you think? Are you going 0-9?
I'm trying.
Okay. Well, he got the power up. He got the power up at the Vaughn setup. So he's gonna carry that forward and he's gonna get it done. And so we're gonna go at IRL Max. So we're done. And that was it. Tune in next week for some NASL. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Is that it? We're done?
Yeah, it is.
I
We're
guess-
done.
yeah, I guess
We're done.
that's-
I'm out of here. We're phoning it
That's a
in
wrap,
this week,
guys.
Saya. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, guys.
Wait, they can still hear you.
Like, on message block?
Yeah, I think so.
Like right now to this day.
Yeah, well, I don't know why that's
We're
occurring.
speaking from space.
Okay, well, hello, Bestie and Slot. If any of the Umu players are in chat right now, I got Fortnite God 2016. May not win a single draft game, but I think it's just OS.
That's my mom. My mom's watching me in the chat.
Actually, goodbye for real.
Love you, Mom.
Point of grand finals, a long journey, all comes down to this. Looking for a passing lane, there's the opening on the outside, the pass, it's wide open, a beautiful shot to the corner, they've reached the summit!